Yes, and it was a cakewalk as far as Essendon is concerned, and I just hope that the West Coast Eagles can come up on Saturday against for their game against Carlton. They've got quite a few players that can come back into the side, and they were just beaten right from the first bounce tonight. Essendon wanted the ball a little bit more. They were far more polished, and also the other thing about Essendon, they went much longer when they went into goal. Not on that occasion though, but this fellow here, Nick Walsh, had a real purple patch in that first quarter. He drifted out of the game after the first quarter, but he was a real contributor and their only focal point up forward for Essendon. The West Coast Eagles, well, they didn't have too many good players. One good thing and one credit, one plus they probably take away from the game is the fact that they never really did give up. Although their case was hopeless in the last quarter, they managed to put on 37 points, at least match Essendon, although Essendon kicked 47. At least they put up a fight, and that's been synonymous to their games all year. They do fight particularly hard. Nicholas Walsh going in again for another goal, and it's interesting in the last quarter that he was taken off the ground by Kevin Sheedy, maybe a little bit goal hungry. He had Daryl Cunningham by himself calling for the ball. He could have hand passed over quite easily, but decided to blaze away at goal, and when he did blaze away at goal, he kicked a point. Came back on and then kicked another goal. Gavin Keane there, a very good player early, Keane, on that outer wing for Essendon. He died out of the game a little bit. Ezard used tremendous skill, pace, and also his ability to read the ball off a pack is very, very good. Reminds me very much of Cracker, and as I mentioned earlier in the game, you just can't give a player or teach a player how to rove a pack. It's instinctive and it's a natural thing, and rovers are not made, I believe they're born. Terry Danaher, the man of the match, 14 marks. He's probably the best and the safest overhead mark in the league. Going through there is Langsford. Came in and played his first game. Played most of the game at centre-half forward, went into the ruck later on in the game, but he'll certainly remember this game. He didn't contribute much, but he had a lot of teammates who didn't contribute either. Daryl Cunningham there, a very, very good player. In actual fact, I had him down as one of the better players in the second half for us, and then his skill let him down on occasions, but he could be a really good player. He's typical of the St Kilda players. They've got a lot of endeavour, but they just lack a little bit in skill, and out at Essendon, he'll probably do a lot more skill work than what he's done in previous years, and he should be a better player for it. And he like a lot of other Essendon players, have got something to prove to the clubs that did reject them. So off that half-back flank, he was probably the best man on the ground and showed a lot of dash. Robert Wiley, good, but they're starting to move their players around a little bit more too, the West Coast Eagles. Here on screen is Nick Walsh, and this is when he did come back onto the ground. Snapped for his 8th goal of the game. That came late in the quarter. Daryl Cunningham here, a good centre. Centred across there, found Tony Elshaw by